Okay, everybody. So we're continuing in the world of matrices. Before too long, we'll get to some of the more heavy lifting of the matrix stuff, like why it really exists and why it's an important part of math. Or we've sort of been just dwelling on skills right now, and today's more skill-based. But I think you'll at least find this pretty easy because it's analogous to basic algebra. Can you solve an equation like this? Subtract 5 on both sides, divide by 2. Obviously you can. So what we're going to be doing now is solving matrix equations. So in a matrix equation, well, it would look something kind of like this. So we've got, here, let me find some parallels here. We've got equal sign, we've got multiplication, potentially, we've got addition, we've got variable. But this time the variable is a matrix of variables. Now, usually when you solve these, the variable matrix is expressed as a capital, or is that capital with an A? Oh, I'm a bad speller. Capital letter. So that equation up there might actually look more like this. Like a capital A, a capital B, a capital M, a capital X, something like that. You're just supposed to know that this letter represents a matrix. But that's all we're doing today, is we're solving those. And if you look at the examples I'm going to go through, we're going to have a one-step, a one-step, a one-step to isolate this variable. It's only going to take one step. Then we're going to get down into two steps: multiply and add, multiply and add, multiply and add. Well, okay, well, your homework's going to have some minus too, but I think you'll be okay handling that. The skills are super basic. You're just manipulating matrices as you go. So here, let's look at this first one. To do this first one, I'm going to have to, since I have this matrix added to X, I'm going to have to cancel it out by subtracting it over here on the other side. So I get X equals negative 19 minus, underlining a minus sign is bad. Minus is plus, so negative 19 plus 11 is negative 8. And then we have negative 11 minus 1, so that's negative 11 plus 1, which is negative 10. And that's it. That's the answer. What we're really looking at is this X represents a matrix. Maybe it's really lowercase xy, like a point on a graph, negative 8, negative 10. So we're saying something like X equals negative 8 and Y equals negative 10, something kind of like that. You don't have to go that far into it, though. Get up to the point that I've just circled there, and you're done. So now is where I go down and check myself and see if I made any mistakes. Nope, looks good. Right, let's look at number 4. To isolate B, to cancel this out, I'm going to have to, since that's minus, add negative 8, 7, 0 over to the other side. So I get B equals 14 plus negative 8 is 6. Negative 13 plus 7 is negative 6. 10 plus 0 is 10. And that's that. So look, one problem took less than a minute. This homework is not, or at least the first couple problems, not going to be super challenging. Let me scroll down to number 4 and just make sure. And yeah, there it is. Oh, and these aren't connected together. Don't read it that way. It's just the way it printed out. Or it didn't really print because it's online. But anyway, those were not connected. All right, number 6. So now we got to isolate the variable here. It's times negative 4, so you need to divide by negative 4. Now, if you want to look at this as dividing by negative 4, you're totally okay doing that. You're going to get negative 3 and negative 9 equals A. And let me check the answer on number 6, negative 3, negative 9. Yeah, right there. So that's totally good, totally right. Technically, if I had like an old math professor here watching over my shoulder, he would be throwing a fit at what I just did. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to multiply both sides by negative 1/4, because in matrices we have scalar multiplication, not division. Ooh, so technically, a big deal. And so negative 1/4 times 12 is negative 3. Negative 1/4 times 36 is negative 9. And that's how you're, air quotes, supposed to get your answer. Whatever works. It's fine. This is the answer. We're good. Now number 8 is going to be a two-step equation. To isolate A, the first thing we want to do is cancel this out by subtracting it over to this side. So I'm going to subtract like so. I get 2A equals 3 minus 1 is 2. 1 minus 11 is plus positive 11, so that's 10. 16 minus 4 is 12. Negative 7 minus 5 is negative 12. Now to isolate A, it's multiplied by 2. I'm going to have to do, again, technically scalar multiplication. Multiply by 1/2. A equals, and then just cut each one of those numbers in half. So 1, 5, 6, negative 6. And that, let's check number 8, 1, 5, 6, negative 6, right there. At this point, you've seen everything. You should be able to just pick up and do the rest of this homework on your own. So if you want to stop the video now, by all means, stop and just do your thing. 10 and 12 are just repeated examples if you feel like you need to see a little bit more. So I'm going to go on. You do what you want to. All right, so cancel this out by subtracting 1, 8, negative 5. So 2x equals negative 13 minus 1 is negative 14. 28 minus 8 is 20. 17 minus 5 is 22. Multiply both sides by 1/2. And you get negative 7, 10, 11. Let me check number 10 and see if that's the right answer. Yep, right there. Last one here. To cancel that out, I need to subtract 8, negative 10, 0. I'm sure that's a 10, not a 16. Negative 5c equals, let's see, negative 32 minus 8 is negative 40. Negative 45 minus 10 is plus positive, so that's going to be negative 35. Negative 15 minus 0 is negative 15. Multiply by negative 1/5. Cancels the negatives. Capital C equals positive 8, positive 7, positive 3. And if you needed to use a calculator here, by all means you could. That'd be fine. There's our answer. So it's just like solving equations you learned how to do in Algebra 1 way back in the day. You're just dealing with more numbers at a time because they're stacked up in matrices. So that's about it. Good luck. Do the odds and contact me with questions if you got